No need to really wait. At least not as long as we did on the last one. Just give it a second. All right, close enough. We are back with case 2. Hopefully it'll be better than case 1. Break is still sponsored by Blowout Cards. These boxes are hanging off the edge a little bit too much for my liking. Well, star date, whatever. Good thing you didn't see case 1. That one was pretty rough. We had a nice sketch and we had a George Takei, and then that was it. Nothing otherwise. So how you doing tonight, Russell? Yeah, and unfortunately I agree with you, Jenna. Or I guess I should say, how you doing tomorrow morning, Russell? Drop off. Everything my kids do is all uploaded. All right, so for the second case, I'm hoping for at least 2 good autographs instead of 1, and the redemption. I know the odds are different for the 2, but I wonder if they'll make it where it's going to be either a redemption or a sketch, because sketches are 1 in 2 cases. The redemption was like 1 in, not quite 1.5. I tell you, and I don't know, if any of the other, like, I'll call them, they're better names, even though they're nobody characters, like the Lee Merriweather. But the drop off after pick 2 is tremendous. Yeah, even any physical paperwork my kids have to do, it gets scanned in, or they'll take a picture of it and send it off to the teacher. But most they do. I think they use Google Classrooms. Hey, Sebastian's back. How you doing up there in the Great White North? I know you like Star Wars, Sebastian. I've got 2 more cases of Stellar. Probably end up doing those on Friday. There's an autograph. So now, Sebastian, what do you do comedy-wise while you're quarantined and isolated? Yeah, but you're not going to get any comedy off of me. And autograph number 2. Me personally, really the only time I get a chance to watch another break is if I'm in it. You know, like if I'm participating myself, or if it's a product that I'm opening and I'm curious to see how others, do with their breaks. But then it pisses me off when I see how some they have much better boxes and cases than I do. All right, so we start with Julie Ann Johnson. Come on. And Mason, if you're watching, I really do apologize. First box. I know it's not the James T. Kirk, but I'm not going to complain at all. So, George, coupons don't apply to me because they give me a small discount for doing the break and bringing the business to the site. So, no luck on that. And a perfect example, Sebastian, just to go back to you now, is the Avengers Endgame. When I'm seeing people that are buying single boxes and pulling good autographs, and I realize that how crappy our 2 cases, or excuse me, our master case was. Yeah, somebody else, was it Go Tribe, had posted about if they about doing another one. I would think at that price too that it's the risk versus reward for something like Outlander has got to be pretty good. I know that well, if it's gone down $50, then just as a for instance, we should be able to remove one spot and keep the price the same. The one thing that does stink is that DS 1991, is that his username? He took base set number 2, and it was not a complete set. So I just gave him the extra base cards I had, figuring he could probably use those to trade. So if I end up being short again on a base set, I don't have any extra base to try and make a set. Hopefully that won't happen. And you got that right, Russell. Oh, a bunch of gamblers. But the first case we opened up, Dragon Glass had the first pick, and we pulled that the best card out of the set, the triple autograph. I don't know if he kept it, sold it, or what, but I know that that card is well over $1,000. Well, when we did the case the first time, I was able to make 2 complete base sets. And then even with the DC set, I really don't remember because I just kind of put all the base together in a big stack. So I couldn't tell you if any of those I couldn't make 2 complete base sets out of. I just knew that, you get like 10 extra base per case. I think those other sets are those upcoming releases like Outlander Season 4, Rise of Skywalker Series 2. They're close enough. I guess it's time to put those in. Not my break, George. I sorted all my base. I know Daniel Force Change. I remember he told me he had bought a base lot. It was like a full case or so worth. He got a really good deal on it. It was a shame though that the DC set, it was like a perfect storm of just crap. They had the collation was a little messed up. People dumped that stuff the day it came out for some reason. So they killed the value of some of the secondary signers. I mean, there's sketches, and I mean decent sketches. I mean, nothing crazy, but there's decent sketches up on eBay with like buy it nows of like $20. I don't know how somebody could open a $200 box of cards and just buy it now, a card for $20 just to get rid of it. Doesn't make any sense at all. Bonnie Beecher. And our inscription here, David Frankham. Captain, what are you doing here? Oh, forgot our case topper. Oh, Russell and George, I'm not sure if you're in the end game break or not, but I reached out to Upper Deck today just because they said that replacement would be somewhere between 2 and 10 weeks. So I figured it's been 2.5, 3 weeks now. So I had asked them how they're making out with the replacement for the missing hit, and the guy said that they're not doing any replacements right now because their office is closed due to the shelter in place. So I completely understand that. I wrote the guy back. He didn't respond. But I'm like, when we went through this 2 weeks ago, the shelter in place was still there. Why didn't you say something then? I know I haven't bothered to update the break. I'm kind of letting it sit quiet. Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's probably going to be 3 weeks. And that's by the time they open, and then who knows where we are with missing replacements. Because even though, you know, they tell you what you want to hear, and I always like to preface that, you know, it's part of a group break. So, you know, if you could please just be as quick as possible. Because I was going to reach out to Logan. He's the one that's up. Well, I was just about to say that. I know Logan in real life is a doctor. I don't know what his practice is, if he's in emergency room or what, but you know, he's been, you know, completely MIA. And I don't know if it's because of work or what, but I haven't really been bothering. Because really, what's it matter if we can't draft the inner one because of the missing hit? But like I was saying earlier on in the video here, seeing the other people that have opened Endgame really makes me think our case was really bad. I didn't look to see, you know, what that Elizabeth Olsen would go for, but everything else we got was crap. It was just complete crap. I was actually hoping he was active, though, because I wanted to ask him a Ghostbusters question. Because the 3 big Ghostbuster people that we had were him. Yeah, exactly. You were exactly right, George. Yeah, it was him, Bearman, and Blue Jay, whatever the number was. They were the 3 big Ghostbuster collectors. But I go back now with my sets and everything that I have, cleaning them up, and I've been starting to put them in binders, and I want to get the official binders if possible. And I can only see 1 or 2 binders ever on eBay, and the people want insane amounts of money for them. I was just curious if he had any idea how rare the binder was to begin with, like if they didn't make a lot of them. As much as I would like the official binder, there's no way I'm going to pay $100 for it. All right, silver, Barbara Luna. And our inscription is Eleanor Donahue. We understand. We got that one in the last case. That's why I need the Philly show to come back, and hopefully it won't get canceled in October too. Try and pick up some of the Game of Thrones and maybe that Ghostbusters binder. And if anybody has a good lead on some of the Game of Thrones binders, I have half of them. I need, let's see, I have Season 1, I have Season 2, I have Valerian Steel Inflection Season 8. So I have the bookends, basically. I need 3 through 6 or 3 through 7. You know, I used to kind of think the same thing, Jenna, and then I decided I like the binders, and honestly, they're not that expensive. You know, when you go to Staples, a good 3-ring binder, probably going to run you, you know, $12, and then it's just a plain binder, so you have to print your own label or cover art or whatever for it. And in this way, it's already printed. You get a promo card, and usually they're $25. But if you go back on eBay and you look at completed listings for Game of Thrones binders, a couple weeks ago, I got outbid. They just went way beyond what I expected. You know, I bought the Season 1 and the Season 2 binders, you know, within a year ago for, you know, I don't know, maybe $40 a piece. And I think one of them even had the set in it. And I don't even think it was that much. And then somebody had a couple of the binders, you know, 3, 4, 5, whatever the seasons were, and they went for like $60. But I used to keep all my stuff in boxes, but then you know, I'd like to actually look at my cards, so I started switching them into binders. And since I only collect base and inserts, pretty much, the binders are the way to go. Just remember, if you're going to put anything that's even remotely I'm not following your question. Is that how you can mail away the other cards? I mean, me personally, I've sold sets that I had in pages, and I never sent them in a binder. I would just sandwich the pages in between 2 large pieces of cardboard, tape it shut, and mail it off that way. Oh. Well, no. What I do personally is I'm just not an autograph collector too much. You know, if it's an actor I like, then maybe I'll collect, you know, I'll grab one. But on the whole, I like the base sets, I like the insert sets. So if I'm lucky, you know, like say the Game of Thrones Season 8 that we just finished up with, the regular cases, not the archive boxes. You know, I joined in the breaks and I was able to buy, trade, whatever my spots. And I got base set, a parallel set, all the easy inserts, and like half of the harder inserts. The only thing I did differently is now that I'm done most of the base and inserts for all the Game of Thrones sets, I went back and I added relics to my want list. And if I get them, I get them. I don't, I don't. But it gives me something else to chase now. Silver, Sabrina Scharf. Emily Banks. This is a long one. All a girl needs is Don Juan. And it doesn't want to focus. Try that. There it goes. And Russell, your question. So I have season 1, season 2, season 8, Inflections, and Valerian Steel binders. So I don't have 3 through 7. But I'm also a lazy collector. So I've got the eBay search is set up, and if I come across them and the price is decent, I'll go for it. If not, no big deal. I'll get them when I get them. But that's why now I was looking at wanting to get the Ghostbusters binder, because that I've got all the base, all the inserts, and I have 1 or 2 of the slime. I have all the patches, and I have 1 or 2 of the slime cards. I just need to pick up some more slime cards. Oh, not even close, Russell. When you figure they're, I don't know, are they maybe 2-inch binders? They're not huge binders, but if you have a 72 card base set, then, and I don't do the golds, just the foils, then 72 card foil, then you have the quotables, the relationships, and then whatever the other harder inserts are. Now Valerian Steel, that one I did. I'm still collecting the gold insert set, which I really regret not going for that in the beginning, because I finished everything so quick, and then I wanted to do the golds, and I could have made some deals when we did all the breaks. But I just have some plain 3-ring binders just to keep my stuff in until I get the real binders. Hey, here's a question for you, Russell, and you too, George. If you guys are at all curious, if you take a look, an auction just ended right before I started these breaks, so like around 8:30 tonight. It was a Solomon Grundy sketch by Eric Mail from Supervillains set. It went way higher than I expected, and I was bidding way over my head on it. I mean, if you guys take a look, tell me what you think about that sketch. And if you think that went high, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't chilled or anything. I'm looking at the. I just think there might be another. Either I don't know. Maybe it's an Eric Mail collector, but hopefully it's not a Solomon Grundy collector, because I definitely wasn't expecting it. But I thought it was a really good sketch. I don't know if Upper Deck's ever made a binder. Nothing I can think of. Star Trek Inflections binder. I don't know how much Bushkill has it for. You need to get an in with Diamond. You can get the binders real cheap through them, but you have to be a dealer. John Hugh McKnight. Barbara Babcock. Looks like it says Myyyy 3. Yep. Oh, that's possible. Was it a good sketch, George? I saw that it was already sold out. Did anybody buy into that Stranger Things autograph collection that Topps is doing their dump on? Speaking of Stranger Things. Also, I saw a bunch of people got their shipping notifications on their Gaten redemptions. It only took a few years. You think there'll be a lot of people collecting a complete base set of this, the 2000 card set? I could see a handful of people. what you really need is somebody like Bushkill, or one of those people that opens up tons of Rittenhouse product to actually sort their base and see. Some of these base cards have to be way rarer than others. Yeah, I have no gauge on if $300 is a good price or not for a base set. Time to do a little quick math in a second here. April Tatro as Isis. And this John Wheeler guy. Shurik will. Oh, wait. Oh, I guess that's supposed to be Shirley. Is that supposed to be a Y? Surely you will pay? Oh, Sarek you will pay. Yeah, that makes more sense. That's what it looks like. All right, quick math. So if we have 12 boxes times 24 packs times 5 cards is 1,440 cards in a case. Minus 24. 40. Yes, I mean, you need 2 full cases of perfect collation to get a master set. You know what, Georgia? The binders, they're really... I mean, the appreciation is minimal. When you get a crap autograph and it's $5, it's still $5. But you buy a binder for $25, $30 and it goes up to $40. But yeah, I think the real question on these base cards, it's going to be, how, if somebody's willing to do the homework to find out if any of the cards are, that much rarer than others. But also, look at the binders from Star Trek Beyond. I don't know how many of those they made, but if you remember, one of the breaks I did, I got the binders because Blowout had them for like $10 a piece. So not every, binder is a winner. I think the real problem is, and it might be something like those Stargate binders or maybe like the Ghostbusters binder, is, rarity isn't equal to value. And the people that have them for sale, believe me, I've been following one guy. He's got one that's like $90. He's had it for sale for a long time. And he obviously, his item, he can price it what he wants at, but nobody's interested in buying it at that price. So he's fine with sitting on it. But at the same token, if I would have thought of, Game of Thrones season 1 binders, or season 2 probably, those first couple of years, they would have appreciated a little bit. The amount of space it would have taken up might not have been worth the trouble. Especially when you got to go and ship them out. That's a pain also. Yeah, first case, the only thing we got George Takei, Oh My, and we got a sketch. Besides that, nothing. Second case, first box, we pulled William Shatner inscription. It just said Star Trek. That's all we've gotten so far. We're on box 7 right now. Now we still have 5 more boxes to open, but if these cases only average 1 Bridge Crew autograph per case, then this stuff's going to get discounted quickly. This is, what's 625 cases. So, they held back some, so there's probably about 615 cases. Judy Shervin. And here I am, Bruce Mars. You know, I think you guys are right. Maybe after this one's done, we should go back to inflections. Just not feeling good about this stuff. I know with the original series in particular, you know, all the actors are very old now, or not even with us anymore. So there's less autographs and things you can do with it. But this is rough. I know we still have 4 boxes to go, but right now, because there was a sketch also, I mean, case 1 was, so far, is actually still better than case 2. You know, a sketch and a Takei, I would take over just a Shatner. That's just me. Now, if we pull a second Bridge Crew or the Redemption or the Cut, one of those cut autographs, then I'll flip it. But until then, all right, Charles Picerni Sr. And Jack Donner, 1 hour. Well, the only thing I can tell you is that if you're a Star Trek collector and you've been, you know, wanting something different to collect, then that's who wants this stuff. That's what I'm saying. If you only average one bridge autograph in a case, it's just not worth it. That's what I'm saying, George. The problem is with it's almost a joke now, George. But you know, the funny part is that guy, Crigio, you know, he bought a couple of spots. I don't know if he bought yours. I know he bought JD's. Mal Friedman. Maybe by the time it actually comes up, that guy will have bought all the spots. And Lou Antonio, My Last Battlefield. I think releases are going to be tougher and tougher for Star Trek in general because with the new stuff, you know, Picard and Discovery being released on a streaming service, it's just going to make it that much harder for the fans because there's going to be less. It would just be nice if the manufacturer, Upper Deck, would be transparent with what the delay is. I mean, did they even make a set? You know, like did they pre-sell from something that never even got made? Yeah, I was just saying that just today I had emailed Upper Deck asking them how they were making out with the missing hip replacement, and the guy responded, since they're on the West Coast, they're a few hours behind us, so he responded tonight that their offices are closed due to shelter in place and no replacements can be sent out until after their office is open. To which I responded, that I completely understand that your offices are closed because of that, but why wouldn't you have told me that 2 weeks ago when we initiated this whole process? The shelter in place was in effect back then. So I will be posting that in the break thread. I just haven't had a chance yet. Got home, I had to update a few things, get the scans from the Walking Dead breakup, and then jumped right into this. I would love to go to one of the manufacturer's offices and see how they operate. It just seems kind of crazy how slow they are when it comes to responding to stuff like that. I mean, Panini is by far the absolute worst. Friggin' duplicate. But Upper Deck on the whole has been the best, for me at least, for when it comes to replacements. They've treated us very well, more than they've treated us poorly. Just with the changes in the hobby, with group breaking in particular, they should have some sort of a protocol. I mean, I submit my ticket. All right, so we have our duplicate here, Mal Friedman. And Michael Pollard with John again. What I say again, we got this one in the first case. Anyway, but I submit a ticket and I give them a link to the video. I tell them exactly where in the video if they want to see it. So, I mean, I do that for Topps, and I still have to mail them the receipt and the UPC codes and cut the box and all that kind of BS. And I don't get why that's needed. Four more chances here. George, maybe we could file a ticket with Upper Deck for missing product for Chasing Amy and see if we can get a replacement. We'd probably get a response like, we don't have a product called that. They wouldn't even realize that they are supposed to have a product. Is Clerk still on EPAC? Maybe they could send us some Kevin Smith autographs and some stuff, some good stuff from there. And then we could just switch it from Chasing Amy to Clerks. I thought he was out. Another duplicate. Well, whatever they do, if hopefully he'll sign more than he did for CZX. Sabrina Scharf, that is a duplicate. So Mason, in the very first box, we hit a Shatner, but that is it. We have yet to hit anything else, and we're on the last box. And it was the one where he just said Star Trek. Beverly Washburn. Love Beverly Washburn. No, I don't want to sleep. No. So I was just saying, the crazy thing is, if we do not get another something, whether it be a Bridge Crew autograph, a sketch, or the redemption, technically case one is better because you got a bridge crew and a sketch. Is Shatner way better than Takei? Of course it is. But Takei in a sketch, to me, is better than one Shatner. Well, I think that the Oh My inscription is, I mean, that's much, much better. You are correct, Mason. But also the redemption for the laser cut set is listed as 1 in 400 something packs, so that's 1.5 cases. So odds are there that we could get a redemption. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Also, there's the 2 cut autographs. I don't know how rare they are. They don't have anything listed, odds or quantity. In the past, when they've done the cuts like of deceased people, usually they're, say 1 in 8, 1 in 10 cases, something along those lines. So, first item. Right, number 2. That was quick. Almost done. And they have the fun part of getting to sort. I'm definitely going to, tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day. I'm definitely making my kids sort cards. Oh, wrong stack. And we are done. Okay, so we got ourselves Nancy Kovac, silver signature. Mary Linda Rapoli, and she put her character name Irina Galileo in Galileo, whatever. So that was only one Bridge Crew autograph. So, but at least the saving grace is that we did get the redemption. See you in the next break, Sebastian. So these are 1 in 432 packs, I think it said. So it's like 1.5 cases. There is a code on the back. There's no scratch off, but you actually have to mail this in. So I don't know if this code is anything specific to this card, so I am not going to flip it over just in case. All right, and then there's the wall of boxes of cards to sort for base. So here's my recap. So we got Shatner. That's the biggie. After that, there's really nothing. We got 2 duplicates and the redemption. So the redemption's good. I have no idea what kind of value there is on this redemption, but here's the way I see this product. If you want to try a box, maybe you get lucky and you can pull one of the Bridge Crew, Shatner. But if our small sample size of 2 cases is any indication as to how this thing pans out, this product, where you basically in a case have 2 hits and then the rest of it's scrub stuff, I would stay far away from cases of this. I think this will be discounted very quickly. I'd say, give it a couple of weeks for the initial rush, which I don't even think there's going to be much of that. And then I think this thing will be on sale. So whatever the next, I don't know what the next sales are, 4th of July sales, I have no idea. But yeah, I don't see this particular product having any legs, unfortunately. So thanks for watching. Join the Facebook group, iFish73 Non-Sport Group Breaks. You want to see me break anything? Message me on Facebook. Message me on Blowout. Message me here. I will respond to you. Over on Blowout, DC Bombshell Series 2. That's really the only break that is filling. That's almost done and ready to break. We'll have coming up probably Friday night 2 more cases of 2019 Stellar. We're going strong on that. I think Blowout is running low because I saw they raised the price. So I'm going to guess that my next cases, our price is probably going to go up a little bit. So usually that means that they're selling them so well that they're going to try and squeeze a little bit more out of them, or they're running low, or a combination of the two. But anyway, so from what we talked about tonight, message in my break thread, the iFish73 under Get to Know Your Group Break Hosts, about doing another Inflections. Maybe we should go back to that. Inflections is a great product. It's it's not cheap, but there's a ton of value in it. Yes, I saw that the Black Ford was pulled in 2019 Stellar. I don't know if either of the other 2 have been pulled yet. Hopefully one of them is in the 2 cases I have upstairs. All right, I will get the scans done tomorrow. I have to go to work, so I'm not going to be able to do the scans tonight. It's almost midnight my time. So again, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you on the next break.